Welcome back, everyone, to Punny Plays a Scholar, and we're trying to convince Constable Underhill here to investigate the Blackwold hideout.
Might I have a word with you?
Well, I suppose you're right. I should make sure that the Blackwolds aren't hiding in the cave of theirs again and mustering their strength, but I want some help. Will you travel with me to the Skunkwold's old hideout? It's south of the guardhouse and the northeast of Staddle Pond, near Staddle Falls. If they're gathering there, I'll need help driving them out again. When you're ready, come back, and we'll go together to the old hideout. All right, I suppose we could do that, so...
How do you do?
Yes, all right, I'm ready to go. Are you?
Undir's defeat shattered the back of the Black Walls, but pieces of the mystery remain unsolved.
Well, let's see if we can solve it then. All right, Constable Underhill, what now?
Goodness.
This place is as quiet as a tomb. I wish we could just say all was peaceful and leave, but I suppose we need to do a better job than that, don't we? All right, no use putting it off. What must be done? Come along, and make sure that you have your blade at the ready, in case we run into any trouble. Well, I've got a club here, and I got a pretty powerful singing voice. You're not convinced. Oh well, let's go. Careful now, my friend. All manner of things could be living here now. I suppose so. Feel like crickets? Yeah. New deed. Knickerbreaker Slayer. Wonderful. As if we needed more Slayer deeds. Yeah. What else have we got? More Knickerbreakers! Where's Mr. Underhill? Oh! Let's press on. Oh, you're just getting ready to get started again while I take care of the Knickerbreakers? Yeah! What else is new? What else is new? Taking lessons from rangers. This is nasty business. This is? Yes, this is. Nasty business, this is. Whatever. Okay, are you ready to get on now? Okay, thank you. And of course, more. This time we get 3 of them. Because that's what we need. All right, now. Amdir was just the beginning. Oh. Yes, Amdir was just the beginning. Okay. The beginning of what? It's me. What, they're going to try to turn all of them into Kargul or something? You have one last chance to beg my forgiveness. Is that Scorgrim? Let's wait here a moment to see what happens. This is your last chance. Swear fealty to Angmar once more. Never! Then die! Oops. Well, may I rephrase that? Yeah. Oh, dwarves, hello! Let's go. You're done with. I have protected Constable Underhill. It is good to say that I was successful. And I want to get my... I just noticed my glass is not... There. Alright. Hello there, Blackwold leader. How are you doing?
Can't you leave me to my misery?
You couldn't have come a moment earlier, could ye? For the dwarf stuck me through, maybe? Oh well, I suppose that's just the way of it. First, it was that Elgin saying that if we pledged Angmar, we'd make us rich. Well, then that all fell apart. A few of us decided we didn't want anything to do with Angmar anymore. We started talking to some new fellows, men who came up from the south. An ugly bunch they were, but at least they didn't seem likely to go raising fell spirits or some such as us. Well, since the person from the south is, well, of course my character doesn't know about Saruman yet. He's been asleep for 3,000 years. How do you know about Saruman? But, yes. But of course, that's Saruman and the White Hands. And I'm wondering if they would bring up fell spirits from Saruman's group. I think I might have seen a fell spirit or two from Saruman. Anyway, it seems so Angmar didn't like the prospect of us leaving them. That dwarf came along, and, well, you see how that ended. And now, I suppose the Blackwoods are at their end. Looks like he's at his end, too. Oh, well. Constable Underhill, I hope you're all right. I didn't hear any screaming. I've no way to see how they escaped this place. We'll never follow them now. Oh, well.
Just a moment.
Well, it seems that strange dwarf escaped. How he got out of there is a mystery to me, and from what you said about the brigand's tale, that dwarf was one we should have been worried about, not those Blackwolves. Well, yeah, he's been causing quite a ruckus around here. Well, I suppose the Blackwolves are truly broken now, but for some reason I don't feel any safer. Well, there's not much we can do here. You'd best take tidings back to that ranger friend of yours in Bree. All right. Back to Bree, I guess? Apparently the constable wants to speak with me before I head back to Strider.
Good day.
Ah, good show. Good show indeed. You'd sure show those Blackwoods rascals what for? Right. For what for did I? Never mind. And doesn't matter. It's the exact same thing I'm already wearing. Well, slightly different name, but other than that, same things. And I suppose I'll just have to grab something for money.
Please, stay a moment.
Oh, and good day to you. Oh, what are you still doing here for? Those Blackwolves are gone and likely for good. That strange dwarf might still be around, but I'll wager he went on somewhere for a bit more interesting. You should take the news back to your friend Strider in Breetown. If he sent you out here, he likely wants to know what we found. He'll probably be at the prancing. Yes, I have a feeling he'll still be there. Okay, thank you. So long. All right, Strider. I got some good news and some bad news. And I think the bad news is worse than the good news is good.
We must move quickly.
You have returned just in time. Much has happened since you left, but I have little time to relate it. The tidings you have brought to me will be of great use to my men of here in Breeland, but there is a more immediate threat we must deal with first. While you're away, those same Nazgul you saw with Amdir attacked the pony. They were in search of the travelers I have been waiting. 4 hobbits of the Shire. I cannot tell you why they had such interest in my companions, but I can tell you that I will have need of your help again. Oh, fun.
I need your aid.
While both you and I have seen 5 Nazgul, their true number is not. Oh, believe me, I know that quite well. Well, okay, I suppose the number could have changed in the last 3,000 years, but I know that 3,000 years ago there were 9 of them. In fact, I think I saw their first introduction. Yeah. Well, before I can take my charges beyond Bree, I must know where the other 4 are hiding. Would you travel to the west and speak with Langlin? I sent him to Buckland to watch over a particular hobbit. But it seems that Mr. Under Underhill? You mean? Oh, wait. I thought I was just speaking. Oh, a different Underhill. Okay, yeah, Underhill and his friends decided to take a different path and are now here under my protection. Still, Langland may know the whereabouts of the remaining Nazgul. He camps on the rise just north of the Buckling Gate and may have seen something that will aid me. You must hurry. I cannot afford to delay here overly long. All right. Fine. I will go and speak with Langland. I have found Langland. Ooh, you need help.
What can I do for you?
Aragorn has sent aid? Nazgul. 4 more were in Buckland. They rode swiftly to the east upon black steeds. I was foolish enough to stand in their way, and they ran me down. I will heal in time, but the riders have left a threat in their wake that must be dealt with. I must ask for your help. What? Rangers asking me for help? I can assure you that this is not the last time that'll happen in this series. It's just a guess.
Would you do something for me?
In the Black Rider's wake, Creban have taken roost. They are not the common strain from Dunland, but a breed I had not seen before. Likely these foul creatures keep watch on Buckland and the Shire, or at the very least at me, since they have taken to staring at me in the night. While the Crebain may see nothing of interest, the fact that the enemy has eyes here is dangerous. If we were to blind these eyes, the enemy would not be sure of directing its efforts. If you would, dispose of the Crebain that roost in the southwest, just beyond my camp. Even killing 1 Creban will go a long way towards blinding the enemy. Now here's an interesting question. Now at this point, let's say we knew about Saruman. And of course, we know that Saruman does use Creban because he uses them as spies in the Fellowship of the Ring. So obviously that's where they got the idea on using this. The question is though, are these Saruman's Creban? Now we do know that Saruman has an interest in this area because we just heard of the Southerners who are trying to get a hold of the Black Wolves, and in fact, many of the quests that are going to come after what we're doing here, the ones that are on the landscape quest as opposed to the epic quest, are going to involve going against the new style Southern Brigands. So yes, we could say that these are Sarumans, that Saruman is trying to keep tabs on what's happening. That Saruman is interested in knowing what the Nazgul are up to. Well, Saruman probably knows what the Nazgul are searching for. And of course, Saruman wants it himself. So therefore, it's logical that the birds could belong to him. But, as things come out later, that's a great hypothesis now. But when we get to around Book 10, of course, I'll have reason to doubt that. So I need to look at that very carefully. What goes on in Book 10, and I think it's not Book 10, I mean Chapter 10 and Chapter 11, to see if it gives me an idea of whose Creban they are. Because what was revealed in, I think it's in Chapter 10 will most likely tell me whether there are 2 sides that we're going skating in between here, or if there's one predominant side here and the other one is just trying to wedge its way in and hasn't quite made a headway into this section yet. Well, let's save that speculation for later, since I'm sure Langland wants to hear the report that I've killed 4 birds.
How can I be of service?
Good, you have slain those foul birds. The enemy will not be nearly as sure in their efforts now. However, I still have need of your aid. I must ask that you do something in Buckland, as it is the horn call that alerted me of the presence of the Nazgul. So therefore,
Could I speak with you a moment?
yes, you say that Underhill is with Aragorn? I don't know any Underhills. Well, there is a constable by that. No, you're not talking about the constable. Okay, yes. I was sent to watch over a hobbit named Baggins. I must assume that this is whom Aragorn spoke of. That he is safe is welcome news, for my fears are somewhat delayed. It is late in the night when I heard the horn call of Buckland. Running to the road, I saw the Nazgul leaving Buckland at a gallop. I tried to stop them, but they ran me down. I feared they had already found Baggins. The four riders passed eastward towards Bree, but we must discover what they learned, if anything, at Baggins's home in Crick Hollow. It is a cottage surrounded by a high hedge, almost directly southeast of the Buckland Gate. If you learn anything there, return to me. What news you can bring to me help determines the movements of the Nazgul. Alright, so I need to investigate Crick Hollow. Okay, I suppose I can do that. And that will be near Buckleberry. Not that my character will ever have heard of Buckleberry. Buckland. I doubt I even. Well, okay, I probably have heard of the Shire. I'm sure that was part of Eladad's and Elrohir's crash course. And Aragorn mentioned the Shire also. So, yes, I'm sure the Shire was in the crash course there. But now, hopefully, I get an idea where Crick Hollow is. Yes, I know, I just stepped into Crick Hollow, but that's beside the point. And let us speak with Fetty Bulger. Now, you can just imagine this tiny little college off to the edge. Has a huge garden. Yeah. Hello there.
Oh, gracious me!
I don't know. I don't have it. Oh, wait. Oh, you aren't one of the Black Riders? I must tell you that I haven't been so frightened in all my life. Did they learn anything from me? Well, those riders came bursting into my house, but I had already slipped in the back way. Not a thing did they get from me. When the sheriffs came, they made me tell them about Frodo and the others going off into the old forest, but I didn't say anything about the enemy's ring. Oh dear, I mean, what is that? It sounds like crows. Oh dear me. Oh, they're coming close. Okay. Oh, more are coming. Oh no. Oh boy. So now the crows want information. Well, at least that does very definitely say that the crows are interested in information. Ah, you didn't get all of them though. Some flew into the old forest. I hope they don't come back. Wonderful. I hope they didn't hear what you just said. Oh well. Well, no doubt Langland is in quite a hurry. I think that we need to consider what other people may be needing to do. So therefore, in our next episode, I am going to speak with these fine, upstanding citizens and find out what they need help with. And that's what we're going to do in our next episode of Piney Plays the Scholar.